Okay, welcome everybody to the SOS Small Business Success Podcast. We're all about building brands that help you survive while you thrive. But we got to develop you to thrive, and that's kind of the whole point of this podcast that I'm doing, is to be able to set you up for success, to have you think about things in a different way, to have you look at the way you're doing things and maybe try something new. So our session title today is EQ Connection Captain. So emotional quotient, connection captain. And we're on episode 133. So thanks for joining me. I'm your host, Bonnie Bonadeo, speaker, coach, author, podcast, all about communications. Falls into 3 different categories: leadership, speaking, and branding. I do that through numerous types of opportunities here. I'm glad to be back on the road speaking again. I have online coaching business. I have a amazing leadership program, amazing speaking program. And if you're interested in any of those, reach out to me. I'd love that. So, we talk about the 5 anchors for success. And the 5 anchors: sales, operations, mindset, marketing, education. Those are the areas that I focus on with building your business and building your brand. They all apply, right? And we're going to kind of be mixing in between 2 of them today. So operations and mindset, and that's where emotional intelligence sits, or emotional quotient sits. And I'm always going to kind of refer to those as the same, but I might use them in different terms. Okay, so let's talk about the EQ Connection Captain. And really what we're saying is this is for salon owners here. So I want you to I'm going to ask you this question now. Do you listen to your gut? Do you listen to your gut? Yeah. Well, it actually starts in your brain, and it leads you down the path of determining, and this happens very quickly, it leads you down the path of being able to say, am I safe or am I not safe? And when the brain, when we have that gut feeling, it's our brain telling us, you're not safe. You're not safe right now. And your brain releases hormones that either feel good or not so good. And we have to be kind of like be in a position to keep deciphering between these 2 that are happening. So you're either feeling good or you're feeling in danger. And your body knows, and your unconscious knows before your conscious logical brain knows. So we have to be able to kind of listen to what we need to do. And it's going to help us to make better decisions. It's going to help us to guide us to be able to say, do I really need to take care of this right now, or can I take care of this later? Am I in the right frame of mind to take care of this? But let's talk about the good hormones first. So we got dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins, right? And so we have to think, can I trust my intuition? When these are showing up, they're happy hormones, right? So I'm feeling good. I'm in my zone. Life is happening. Energy's all in place. And we can be productive under these. We can be happy under these, and we can be productive under these. But let's talk about them a little bit separately here. So dopamine is a hormone that gets released when you complete a task. I love creating a to-do list and then checking it off, get my little dopamine fix there. Good food, that moment when you're tasting something really delicious and you're just like, oh, this is so good. Self-care, whatever that looks like for you, could be taking a bath, could be relaxing on the couch, could be scrolling on your phone, I don't know. And of course, small wins. And small wins is a big one, because I think at the end of the day, sometimes we really cheat ourselves on being able to say, what did I accomplish today? What did I do well today? And giving ourselves that little pat on the back. Serotonin, meditating, swimming because you're using just about every muscle in your body to be able to do that. Walks in nature and achieving goals. That's when serotonin starts kicking in, right? Oxytocin, oh my gosh, and I miss this so much. It's almost been 2 years since I lost my dog. But not being able to kind of cuddle with an animal, okay? I have deer now that I'm trying to be the deer whisperer here in my neighborhood. And I'm getting very close to them eating out of my hands and nurturing them, but they're kind of like my pets right now. But I can't go up and just like cuddle these deer, especially some of them are very, very big bucks with huge, 10-point racks and everything. So I miss my little chihuahua that I could just hold in my arms and get that oxytocin fix, right? Physical affection, compliments, whether you're giving or receiving, And then hugging kind of produces that oxytocin in there. And then endorphins is laughing, funny movies. Put on your favorite funny movie. If you're not in a good mood, put on your favorite funny movie and get some laughing going on. Grab some dark chocolate, that helps. And or exercise. We know that endorphins comes from all of those things. So those are the good hormones. But let's talk about the hormones that when we're not so happy and might be a little out of sync, or we might be triggering these hormones to be showing up a little too often. And the first one is cortisol. This is a stress hormone, so it plays on your blood sugar and your blood pressure. So if you keep releasing hormone into your system, this stress hormone, you're gonna end up being unhealthy fairly fast. It creates inflammation, and it's the fear response. So fight, flight, freeze. So if you catch yourself kind of in those moments of agitation on a regular and ongoing basis, then you probably have a high amount of cortisol going into your system on a regular basis, and it becomes very unhealthy for you to be in that space. Your body, it retains in your body for 3, 4, 6 hours, okay? Sometimes if you don't know how to move it through, and moving it through, of course, is the SOS solution that I have, which is stop, oxygenate, and seek information, right? But sometimes we're always not in a position to be able to do that. So move, walk, drink water, do whatever you can. If you know that you've been hijacked, high cortisol going through your body, give yourself an opportunity to be able to figure out ways to release it, okay? Stop, oxygenate, seek information, tons of water, get moving, all right? That's the way to be able to kind of move cortisol through your body, but you really need to determine what's triggering the cortisol in you and where is it coming from. If you're walking into work and you're getting hijacked 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, driving home, getting hijacked from the traffic, getting home, getting hijacked from your family or your loved ones, then you might want to look at ways to be able to go back to the good hormones and figure out some of those things that we just talked about, ways to be able to reduce that and get good hormones going to offset these unhappy hormones that are happening. So we know estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, that those are, whether you're male or female, we have all of these, but obviously, females, we have much more estrogen going on. And so when you see that there's mood changes, menstrual, menopause, you have complete imbalance. And I highly recommend that that no matter where you're at, especially if you're kind of like creeping into those menopausal years, go have a hormone panel done. It is really enlightening to be able to be like, wow, now it all makes sense to me. And they talk about hormones. I had this one hormone doctor on my radio show, Beauty Inside and Out, and he talked about it from like a frequency. And he's like, when you're trying to dial in that radio station in the old type of radio, the boombox type of thing that we had back in the day, he goes, and you just keep getting static and you keep getting static. It's your hormones that are not balanced. And he says, but when you find that station and it completely, sets in and you have access to this great music, that's when your hormones are all imbalanced. So estrogen being one of them, progesterone being another. Progesterone, when you have mood swings, depression, irritability, brain fog, you might be low on progesterone. And testosterone, low energy, fatigue, and decreased muscle mass happens with that one. So you can see the importance of keeping your cortisol low, your estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone in balance, right? But how does this affect us when we're making decisions? Well, we have to be in good balance to make decisions. We can't be hijacked by hormones or lack thereof when we're leading other people. We have to be balanced. We have to show this stability. They're expecting that, they're looking for that, and we want that. We want that as a leader. So here's some ways to be able to kind of like get this EQ connection as being the captain of your ship here. Allow yourself to be present to how you feel. Okay? Because when you can recognize that self-awareness, when you could recognize how you're feeling, if you're not feeling good, own it. Own it and then figure out what's the solution you can do to shift it. All right? Are you in the right frame of mind to deal with certain things? So if something shows up and you're not feeling good and you've got to take care of something, maybe you're not in the right frame of mind to do it. Is it urgent? Is it not urgent today? Is it not urgent in 7 days. And when you can ask yourself those questions like that, not only are you creating good self-awareness of where you're at, but you're also evaluating a situation to determine, okay, it's not urgent today that I deal with it. Maybe I can deal with it tomorrow, but it definitely has to be dealt with within 7 days. And then you can backtrack it to where you can put it into your calendar and take it on at that point. And then I want you to think about how is it going to impact you in dealing with it, whatever that is, okay? It could be a client issue, a stylist issue, a family issue, okay? How will it impact you if you deal with it? How will it impact you and others if you don't deal with it? Whether in the moment or at a later date, you have to be able to understand the impact that you have by dealing with something or not dealing with something. And a lot of times in a leadership position within our businesses, sometimes we just want to brush things, brush that hair under the carpet and not have to deal with it. And it starts to resurface again, like it starts to get lumps in the carpet. We start to see it and feel it, and then we realize, we got to deal with this. So when you can kind of evaluate that, is it urgent? Is it not urgent? Can it be dealt with tomorrow or within 7 days? Then it makes it easy for you to kind of place it on your calendar and deal with it. Now, self-awareness is the foundation of good leadership. Good leadership is the foundation of great communications, and great communications in leadership is when you are emotionally intelligent or you have a high emotional quotient. Okay? Yeah, that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're aiming for. Now, if you want to hear more about some of these conversations that I'm having with you, join the free webinar that's coming up with April and me, April McDaniel from Copes Oda. She is our salon CPA, and it's called Finish Strong in 2024 and a Blueprint for Success for 2025. Now, this is happening on September 25th. It's a Wednesday at 1 p.m. So if you're an owner and you're working at the chair, I want you to kind of go in, carve out lunch right now for 1 hour. From 1 to 2, you're going to take a lunch break and you're going to join us for the webinar. We're gonna really, it's really designed for owners and managers, but we're gonna talk on a very high note of this groundwork of being able to say, what do we need to do to finish 24 strong? How do we set ourselves up for a successful 2025? Yeah, I hope you join us. And then of course, if you want to come meet me at Data Driven here in Atlanta, it's Data Driven on tour. I'm going to be speaking on the stage, leading with Heart and Edge, on October 28th. And both you guys, to sign up for the webinar or to sign up for Data Driven on Tour, both of those links are in my Instagram account at Bonnie Bonadeo. Just hit my bio link, and then you'll see both of these to be able to register for them. The webinar is free. There is a charge for the Data Driven on Tour. I don't think it's very expensive, and I think there's still some tickets left, so I hope that you will definitely join us. And I look forward to seeing you either on the 25th of September for the webinar or on October 28th, live and in person at Data Driven. So, see you then.